and welcome to Points of Interest. I'm one of your hosts, Jake, along with my co-host, James, over here.
Hey, guys.
If you're new to the show, this is Inverted Reality's Gaming News Podcast. Every week, we collect video game news and stories from around the internet, bring them to you in one nice, easy-to-consume package delivered right to your internet door to consume at your leisure.
Love it.
You can...
I love leisurely consumption. That's one of my favorite things of the day.
I agree. There's nothing beats convenience when it comes to consumption.
Tell me about it.
You can get the show on your podcast service of choice or on YouTube and Facebook for videos. Usually how it works is we break the show up by one or two topics per day, Tuesday through Thursday, and then Friday the whole show comes out as one big video, an MP3 for you to love and cherish for the rest of your life.
In any way you want to wear. To wear it. Yep.
Wear
Wear it the way you want.
Is that a new podcast you got on your feed?
Wear it the way you want.
Yeah. I picked it up this Friday. I thought it went nice with my jeans. Nice winter wash.
But there's just a bunch of loot boxes on it. So.
I scrubbed and it wouldn't go away.
Nope.
I just swear, man, they've had the same thing in stock for weeks.
I just wanted a new skin, man. That's all I wanted.
That's all I wanted. Finally gave up and shelled over 99 cents.
All right.
Saw a thing, I think it was on Reddit. It's like, I used to walk around with like pockets full of quarters to go spend at the arcade, but now I won't pay 99 cents for an app.
I know. It's pretty silly, like the amount we'll spend. Like you'll go down and no big deal to toss down $10 at McDonald's, which is like a buffet of food. But 99 cents, you're like...
It's pretty steep for an app, guys.
It's steep. I don't know if I want to support anyone that worked on something.
Yeah, that's why you get that Google survey money right there.
You got it.
I haven't paid for an app since I've had this phone.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Great.
It is great.
Just go places and they'll ask you about it. Speaking of asking you about it, James, what you been playing lately?
Well, nothing's changed.
Hey,
it's Assassin's Creed
the pictures
Origins.
changed.
Pictures changed. Yeah. I can't. I'm focused. I'm in the game. It's what I want to finish, so it's what I'm working on. I feel like a broken record, but it's a good game. It's a surprisingly good time. Climbing freaking pyramids. I didn't know I would get to do that, but I was excited when I did.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Exploring the crypts inside, which is different than just like the other side quest you had. It's some cool stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Quests.
I've also been watching Riverdale lately. If you haven't watched Riverdale, yeah. So it's like Archie comics.
Show. Yeah.
Right. So, but it's super dark. I would assume because I never read the comics. You just kind of know, like Betty and Veronica and Jughead and Archie. Like those are the names you know. Well, it's like super dark. Like it's all revolves around like a death in a small town, and so it's awesome. It's like super dark, like murder mystery, huge, like big old reveals every single episode.
Describe it with 2 words. What would you use?
All right, fine. Whatever. So it's good. We're in the second season now, and it's awesome.
How many seasons are there?
They're currently in the second season on the CW. As it turns out, I watch
CW
almost
show?
every single show that the CW has to offer because I have a problem with young adult fiction.
Do you watch Smallville?
I do not. That's the only one that I've never really watched.
There you go.
So it's on my list of.
You haven't watched all of them yet.
That's true. Well, we're pretty close. Like out of like the 9 shows that they have during the week, I think I watch 8 of them. So it's very impressive. So they have a new one called Black Lightning. I know we're getting off topic here.
No, it's fine.
But it's a new
Conversational
superhero,
podcast.
Black Lightning. He's in the DC universe. He technically could be in the Arrow shows, but he's not. But it's a black person as a superhero in like a black community. Yeah, who would be? But it's interesting because it's talking about like racism and it's talking about a lot of social things that are happening now. So it's really cool and also really sad because it's, my wife watches it with me and she's like, that's exactly how it is. Like, that's for real. That's all legit. Not the superhero stuff, but the way they treat, like the way the gangs run the city and the way the police are, overly brutalizing and stuff like that.
To clarify,
it's interesting.
his wife teaches in a diverse part of town. Very diverse. I was
diverse is good.
I had other ways to say it. I was like, I don't know if that's racist or not.
I mean, you could also say inner city school.
Inner city school, yeah, that works too.
So she sees.
I still think of Benson as like inner city.
She has a lot. Well, we don't, but it is.
Yes, we don't because of where we're from.
Right. Yeah, she's in a very unique situation. She has a lot of problems there that you don't have out west, out in the suburbs. Yeah. So it's just different. So it's cool. We've been watching a lot of that, and when I'm not watching that, I've been playing Assassin's Creed Origins. What about you? What do you got?
We'll change the picture because I've been playing Assassin's Creed Origins.
Good news. I grabbed 2 pictures.
Oh, hey, look at you go.
Yeah, I was thinking ahead this time.
As you can see,
desert and
Bayek.
I was forgetting his name because it's been a couple days.
It has been. Yeah,
You're almost done with it, right? You gotta be getting close.
I'm getting pretty close. I'm level 32.
Okay.
I've got two targets on my list. One more target on my list, something like that.
Okay.
I've killed 9 main people, I
Right.
think. It turns out there's 2 more, so apparently there's at least 11 main people.
Right.
Um,
Kind of figure there's enough real estate on the
a
screen.
lot of
for
room
there
on
to be
that. You're like,
more,
wow,
yeah.
that's a lot of room for just 5 people.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it turns out.
Especially
Um,
when you don't even kill most of them.
Yeah, so I assume that there's like one mower that goes in the middle or one that goes on top.
Mm-hmm.
There's a weird empty space in the middle of the 2 that are up now. So I'm like, he either goes up top or right in the middle.
Yeah.
So there's 1 or 2 more after these 2. There's got to be. At
Yeah.
least I think there is.
Yeah.
But
Still cool.
yeah, I did one PlayStation the other day. I'd never really looked at it when I was in my ability tree that the synchronization points increase the bird's ability to detect
Yeah.
enemies. And I was like,
Makes a
'cause
lot.
I just hadn't been getting them. Because to me, I was like, oh, they're fast travel points. I keep hitting fast travel points next to them anyways.
Right.
I don't need these. And so then I was just like bouncing back through all the cities I'd been through and just like grabbing them. Like,
Yeah,
all right.
I've been going out of my way to get those. So
Yes, I used to in the old Assassin's Creed. That was the only way to unlock the map.
right. And
But in
now
this one,
it's
it's like you just show up and you're like, oh, location discovered. And you pretty much everything you
question
need to see
marks
is
and
there.
your vendors. And
So
stuff. I like
I
it.
never had the need to. But now I'm like, oh, I should go back and do these.
Definitely.
But
So
it ended up putting me next to my next mission after I did about 10 of them. And I was like, oh, hey, this is where
works out
I'll
well.
just go on to this next thing.
Exactly. I like it.
And we together
Yeah, we did.
yesterday
Mm,
played the Sea of Thieves closed beta.
that's true. We could talk about this one.
We can.
So there's
We
no
were-
NDA or anything like that.
Yep. We were in the
Technical
alpha program,
alpha. Yep,
technical alpha
which was cool.
a little while ago. But
So we got to do closed beta. It was, this is going to actually segue into our first topic of the day. But it's interesting. Like I think it delivers on what they said. I don't think that any part of what they said, like leading up to it, is misleading me into
Yeah.
what it is, because they say you can go be a pirate with your friends, you can go loot treasure, you go kill bad guys, you do quests, and you make money to get things in return.
you sail
And you sail
a lot.
a lot. So it's in that aspect, it's really fun. Like it's
Yeah.
fun for the 2 of us to play. I can imagine solo, it would just be so boring, unbelievably boring. Like
Yeah, you need something else to
there would be nothing to
I
do
don't know.
because you'd set your ship and then you just kind of.
have to play your
steer as you
hurdy-gurdy
go.
by yourself.
It's true. They give you little instruments, give you a hurdy-gurdy, and
It's not an accordion. It's got a name.
it's got a name, but
Small octagonal.
yeah, it looks like
Dude.
an accordion.
Yeah,
So,
it's an accordion miniature.
but so you can play them, and then the songs that you play line up if you play them at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's
Pretty
kind of
cool.
cool.
But
What do you think of it so far? I mean, we
I think
played.
it's fun.
We probably did 4 or 5 in the alpha, and then like 3 or 4 in the beta yesterday.
Yeah.
Or Tuesday, Monday, Sunday.
Sunday.
It was
It's definitely Sunday. Today's Monday.
Yeah, today is Monday.
Timestamp. But I mean, it was fun. Like I enjoyed it. But I mean, so you found this article that actually on IGN that actually lines up.
Yep.
With a lot of what we were talking about yesterday while we were playing it.
Right. I'm not big on
And-
IGN. I try to stay away from them because I just don't really trust them as a news source a lot of times. Like the reviews always seem to be kind of, I don't know, biased. Like I don't really love them for review scores, but this guy seemed to hit it on the head.
Yep.
for me personally.
Jared Duggan, I think his
That
name
sounds
is, I believe. But so the beta started with a lot of issues for, I think this was mainly a PC problem.
Yeah, it was mainly PCs that were having it. It's funny. It is James Duggan, by the way.
James Duggan.
James
I
Duggan.
think I said Jared Duggan.
Yeah, you
James Duggan. Way to go, dude.
Yeah.
Proud of you. But people, so basically you could either be in the Sea of Thieves Insider program like we are,
Mhm.
or you pre-order the game was how you get access to this beta.
Mhm.
So people that pre-ordered the game got a code, and they would go to put in the code, and they'd get an error message that says, "You're too early. We're excited that you wanted to play, but you're a little too early. Come back later when the game's available." Originally, the beta was going to run through Sunday,
It's through Monday.
through Monday, but it extended until Wednesday. So a couple days ago, if you listen to this on Friday, tomorrow, if you're listening to this today,
It's Wednesday,
So,
31st. That's
yeah.
when it happened.
there you go.
You know, you can figure out where that is.
You'll
You
figure it
can-
out.
You can extrapolate the data.
So they extended the beta for the people that couldn't get in. So you could imagine if you paid for this game, wanting to be in the beta, and you couldn't, you would be upset,
would
and
be-
understandably so.
Yeah, I
That's
think
fair.
so. It's because it wasn't just for like an hour or two. I mean, the beta launched. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
and they had the issues for almost 2 days, and they're still occasionally having them for the I think it's finally resolved, but it did take a good 2 or 3 days for the patches to start
Yeah.
rolling out. And first it went out in the EU, and then it went closer to us, and so it's like that was only PC. It seemed to affect. Didn't seem to affect us. On
Yeah,
our
we got in
Xboxes.
just fine.
Well,
Not to say we didn't have issues.
The first night we tried was Friday, and we couldn't. We could barely get into a voyage.
Yeah,
we'd get the voyage and we'd start it, and then it would
some
just
kind of problem where we couldn't actually
disappear,
start the voyage.
and then you'd go get it and then grab the chest and take it to the gold person, and we didn't get any gold for it, and we're like, you know what? This seems like a good time to go play Halo.
I'm curious is kind of how you advance in the game, and therefore when you
we
couldn't turn it in and couldn't get money, you couldn't buy the next
Yeah,
voyage.
because we turned it into him, but we didn't get any money back, and then the next time we logged in, which was Sunday night, we had
was
that money
there.
sitting
Yeah.
there, so it was fine, and they fixed it, but that was just server side
Yeah,
issues.
Sunday it worked pretty flawlessly.
So there were all sorts of
as far as
problems
beta goes
to
for
start
flawless.
with the beta.
Yep. It does have its good points.
Mm-hmm.
He mentions in the article, it says Sea of Thieves has a lot going for it. A unique, immersive setting, a surprisingly accessible learning curve, and possibly the best looking water of all time, which I agree. It's pretty good looking water.
It's
really good water physics.
It's really interesting because the whole game is a very like cartoon. I don't want to say cell shader, but just that blocky,
Not
like
quite, yeah, it's
cartoonish look for it.
polygonal.
But I was gonna say you can count the polygons. But the water itself looks like real water. It's really odd that they
Yeah.
made that choice. It looks cool.
The reflections are really good. The shadows are really good.
Mhm.
All that stuff. It works really good. But not even the dazzling glimmer of that perfect ocean can outshine the radiance of the game's most outstanding quality. Its impeccable multiplayer design, which coerces cooperation and inspires emergent gameplay. And it really does. Like,
Oh yeah.
I did play a little bit by myself, which is because you played a little bit by yourself.
Yeah.
And you texted me and you're like, man, I don't know if this is a game you can play by yourself. This is not.
I was
I
ready
don't
to
get
vomit over the side of my ship.
Yeah.
I just was so bored.
Yeah. We, because it took a while to figure out when you hopped in, and this was,
The alpha.
yeah, the alpha. You hop in, and there's no instructions, there's no HUD, there's no waypoint, which is actually kind of great.
Yeah.
But you find your ship, and you're like, cool. And in every other sailing game, you hop behind the wheel and you hit action buttons to do stuff with the sails. And this one, you're like, nope. You have to go over to the thing and like lower the sail, and then the thing, the block and tackle right behind it, and turn the sail to match the wind, and then you go over to the wheel.
You gotta
and then
raise
you
the
can go
anchor.
places.
Don't forget the
You've
anchor.
got to raise the anchor, or you won't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So you have to do all the things. So when you're by yourself, it's kind of a lot to manage to
Yeah.
run around between these three things and make sure you stop in time. Because if you hit the side of an island or a rock or another boat, you'll spring a leak, and you have to have a bucket and dump out the water and fix the leak. And it's really fun,
No, it
but
is.
it's just way
good.
easier with another person
It
because
is.
the way we do it is you manage the sail, and then I drive the ship.
Mhm.
So you
It
keep
works
us
out
kind of
well.
on course, run around to the map down below, and then I drive us to where we're going, and then
And it's
stop and get off
interesting
the
because
ship.
they have different sized ships for different crews. So you got 1,
Yes.
2, and 4, and you can't go into a 4 crew. Like if you go in by yourself, it will match you with 3 people. So it's easy to find people. Now, if those people are going to be good to you or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's better to go in with friends. But there's still an option if you're solo. Want to go with others? The 4-person ship is like 3 levels, has like 3 times as
just
many.
have 3 sets of
sails
sails, and you have to do that same thing for
Yeah.
all 3 of them.
There's a lot going on. The 1-person boat obviously has a lot less going on. 2-person boat's kind of in the middle.
Weaker.
Yeah.
Before it's definitely geared for 4 people, and that's the way it, is meant to be played.
Right.
So they want you to be with 3 other people on this big ship. The big ship also has 3 levels instead of 2.
Yeah.
So the ship that we're on all the time has
Just the 2.
Yeah,
The
just
deck
2.
and
It's
then
got like a
the lower.
like kind of a little mid deck where the map is, and
Mhm.
but the lower deck where like the prison and the
Yeah.
beer and the
Right,
you-
the beer, the
you
grog.
do have grog, and you can
Yeah.
fill a mug, and you get really drunk off of 1 cup.
Yeah, you do. It's much different than the alpha. The alpha
Yeah,
took like 3
alpha
or
we
4.
definitely could get. I mean, you're like stumbling around a ton, but we just kind of took it as a challenge to be at one of the bars on one of the home islands, try to like grab as many drinks as we could, and we got like 10.
That was like 10.
Because you kind of like get up to the bar and you just kind of like mash X until you get a full drink, and then you just kind of start throwing it back.
Yeah, this and
It's really funny.
yeah. So I mean, you'll vomit. I noticed in the beta you don't vomit on your screen anymore. I could hear us vomiting, but so we would
I
stumble.
saw it
We okay, you did see it.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't
saw
see
it
it like
'cause we
on
were-
my camera
because we were
itself,
fighting
which is
those
how it was
guys.
before.
We were like wrapping up, and this 4-person ship rolled in, and they started shooting at us, and we're both still like in this like we were like drunken stumbles.
It was
and
a
we're,
nice little like
rolling
drunken
around
monkey
like trying to
kinda
pull out a
fighting
gun,
style.
and we can't quite get there. And
Yeah, so
so
they
that's
added,
when I saw the vomit.
yeah, they added a sniper rifle, and so it was interesting. So we got in a fight with these guys. They
We
sunk
lost,
our ship, but it was
sort of.
okay because we'd
We'd already turned everything. in.
already turned everything in, so we didn't.
We
have
lost
anything
80
important on it.
cannonballs.
That's
So that's
true.
the other thing, like to fix the ship. So as you hit and you spring a leak, you take a wooden plank. You got to like nail the wooden plank to the wall over the leak, and then you got to bucket out all the water.
Yep.
But while you're on the islands, you have to collect the planks that you use. And if you're going to use the cannons, you have to pick up a cannonball, load the cannon, and then you can use the cannon. So you have to
Right.
collect cannonballs and bananas to replenish your health. So you collect all these things while you're on the islands, and you can store them in barrels. Yeah, this is the big ship. So it has 4 cannons rolled out across
Yep, on each side.
the little ship. The ship we're on has 1 per side, and then I think the little ship also has 1 per
I think it's
side.
just 1 per side. Yeah.
So, but you can get in fights with other players. Like when you see them, you're pretty much guaranteed to get in a fight. We were battling with these 2 guys for a solid minute before we sank their ship. And
Yeah, it
just
was a good
ran
time.
away.
Yeah, we circled each other for like 10 minutes, and you would take turns like fixing and then turning the boat, and I would be like shooting my sniper, and then we'd go down and get ammo, and I'd go to the cannonball. All that stuff's really great. The combat was fun in that sense. The close quarters combat's a little clunky with the
Yeah.
sword. You kind of sort of
It's hard
lock
to,
on,
like,
but
aim
you don't.
When you're using
Aiming
the gun.
is not really good because there's no real reticle at all.
No.
I think that's okay. I think that's something you get used to. That's not a deal breaker for me. So it's interesting. It does the pirate stuff well. Like you see another ship and you instantly freeze. You're like, okay, are they gonna attack us and take our stuff? Are they just gonna go by? Like, should we bother? Like, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. So like for one instance, somebody sank our boat and it took one of us. It took us both with it, but we respawned in time to get back to that spot.
Yeah.
And our chest stayed there, and they took off because they didn't see us anymore. And so we took the chests and I hid them on the island, and then Jake went and got the boat. He went back and got a new boat and came all the way back to me.
When you die, a little like
Or
mermaid
chest.
pops up in the water, and you can just go over and hit X, and it'll
If you're
warp you to where your boat is.
Yeah.
But one of you can stay with your stuff. You can't transport with your stuff, but one of you can stay with it, and the other person can sail back to you, and you pick up the chest.
Yeah, so it's cool. There's some really cool things in it. I think he talks about the unlocks and stuff like that for what you have, and right now in the beta, and I get it. This is our only impression right now. The only non-aesthetic unlock is a blunderbuss, which is basically just an overpowered shotgun.
Yep.
From about 4 inches away, you approximately have to be, I think. So that's cool and awesome, but that's it, right? We don't have anything for ships yet. We don't have any other kind of guns. Maybe like a better sniper rifle with a scope that's not cracked. There's nothing. Now, again, beta. They only had 1 vendor in there, the gold vendor. There's going to be 3 in the full one, so there's more stuff to do. But I think my biggest concern right now is content. Like, what's going to keep us coming back? Like, for us, we've played 2 nights in it. We had a lot of fun, but we already felt kind of bored with parts of it. And so it's like, this is the way that it's set up right now. I don't think this is something you could pour in 3 or 4 hours a night for like 3 months.
Yeah.
Like what I think their goal is, right? Is to have you come back every night. There's not enough content. Even it's like, oh, well, there's not just going to be gold quests. There's going to be this one where you go and fulfill bounties by killing people. And then there's going to be this other one that we don't know a ton about. It's like, yeah, but all of those are basically just fetch quests, right? And sometimes you're fetching a chest and sometimes you're fetching, dead bodies or whatever.
It's just a skull.
I get that they're different, but they're also not that different. And so it's like, what are they going to do to give us some variety and give us a reason to keep coming back? Because there's no story, right? There's no big story mode with some huge overarching story. And it's like, some people are like, oh, cool. You just make your own story. It's your own. It's a sandbox. The world's your oyster. Like,
It's kind of not, though.
it's kind of not, though.
Like, it's fun, and the islands are, different enough, because really the different part of them is they're different sizes.
Yeah.
And
Different landmarks.
but even still, with different sizes, all the islands are relatively small compared to something like Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which I know is like not super fair to compare
Right,
that
it's
to.
2 different
but-
things,
In Assassin's Creed Black Flag, you hop off and you have a whole like world you can go play on this island. On this one, like you hop on it and you can easily run to both sides of the island within a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Like, and maybe not even that long. If you that's if you take the long way around.
Right.
Like-
Yeah, they're small, and I think the biggest problem for me, and we didn't go to any of the fortresses, so maybe it's a little bit different on those.
Yeah.
I would be interested to go into those and interact with them. But the islands are the same vegetation. Like, it's the same, and like every island everywhere is like green grass and the same kind of trees and a couple caves and a waterfall. And those are the big islands. Small islands just going to be like rocks and a tree or 2. It's like, is that it? Like, there's no real varied environment. So are they going to start, as they go, are they going to introduce like, oh, here's some winter climates, here's some, tropical climates, here's some desert climates. What are we going to start seeing as it goes, because they're talking about adding more content as it goes. So it's like, okay, we're going to start bare bones, but then have more. I don't know. And so I thought, okay, well, that makes sense if this is like a $30 or $40 game. It's not. $60 game.
Yeah, full retail.
Full retail price. And you basically
like you gotta
have
make money.
to play it with somebody.
Yeah.
So I don't
Play
know.
by yourself, but even in the menu it recommends like this is for experienced players only. It's like, well, like don't have anyone to play with, so how do I
Yeah.
get experience without?
Exactly. So
But-
we could talk about it a lot, but I think it comes down to I'm more concerned than I was after playing the alpha.
Yeah.
In that I was thinking they were holding stuff back because it was an alpha. Like we're just testing to make sure the game functions.
It's more of like a test of game
We got in the
mechanics
beta,
and running the engine.
And it's like this is the same problem we were having in the alpha. And so he's like, yeah, sure, some of the bugs were fixed. Some of them were definitely not fixed. We had one time where a ship got shot and it flew approximately 600 feet in
that
the
was
air
amazing.
and then toppled down and just disappeared in the water. Like no big splash. Like that would have been at least kind of cool. It just went face down and just poof, and just gone.
saw a cannon shot and all of a sudden just
So I get that it's not fully polished, but we are less than 2 months away from launch.
yeah.
Like the map is I don't know. It's not like it's an infinite map. We're not getting infinite
No.
galaxies recreated. It's like there's probably 50 or 60 islands.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It worries you that, and it's not quite the same, but if it falls to kind of the No Man's Sky syndrome of like, it's
Mhm.
really hyped. Everybody's like, wow, this is going to be this really fun, like, multiplayer sailing game that we're all going to play with each other, and it's just like infinite possibilities.
Right.
And at least in this one, we can see each other and actually play with each other.
yeah.
But it's a small world, and you can only do so many things. It's
Yep.
just like fetch quests, and it's like, well,
So we'll see. We'll see.
Hopefully it's better than
on.
that.
If you have Games Pass, it will be there for free on launch. Or
Yes.
not free, but just the
be
same
part of
price.
Games Pass on
So
launch.
it will be a no risk try if you have that, which
Yeah.
I definitely recommend you have. So we'll see.
That's a
We'll
deal
try it,
right there.
but I don't. If the game's like this, I don't really want to buy it personally.
Yeah.
So,
No.
anyways,
We'll
moving
let you
on.
know when it gets there.
That's a lot of Sea of Thieves talk.
It
That
is.
was lots.
Let's step on land.
That was a lot of. Yeah, we couldn't get
knew it
through
was
like
coming.
more than 5 minutes last night without like a pirate accent of some sort.
Yeah,
It was
which does
bad.
speak to kind of the.
It
drag-
felt like we were
drawing you
pirates,
into the game.
and that was really cool.
That's the best part of the whole thing. Guys, thanks for watching. If you want to see more, click down here somewhere, ish here, for a playlist of videos. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, click on James's nose. Boop. Boop.